Alright everyone, welcome to Refrain. This is an awesome shmup, one that Dingo actually introduced me to, and it was one of the first shmups I ever reviewed and got into for my channel, and yeah, he did a shmup slam run last year, and so I'm happy he returns. I think more Western players need to check this game out, because I think it's actually fairly popular, I believe, among the Japanese players, but not too many Western players play it. Dingo's the man right now. And so the ship he's flying right here is the Bronx Terror, and it is, my opinion, the best ship in the game by far. It's just a beast. So what's really cool about this game is that it has a super system, kind of like a fighting game where you see the little number at the bottom left there. So that's his super meter, and the higher his super meter gets, he can do different supers. So right there, he did a 4-meter super, and so you use different supers for different scenarios. But most of the time, you want to use the level 4s. You want to use the highest levels. Yeah, Dingo's been putting a lot of work into this game, and I believe he has the Western record as of right now. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure. So the idea here is, yeah, so those missiles he's shooting, those are level 1 supers, and each ship has different, the ship variety is really interesting in this game, because each ship has different lasers, and then they have different supers, and then each super, you know, there's I think three different supers, 3 or 4 different supers, and the Bronx Terror just has, everything's good. The lasers are good, the supers are good. The level 1 super, those missiles are really good because they cancel bullets. And he can control the way those lasers are focused. You see they're kind of coming to a point. That's under his control. He can also widen them out if he feels like doing so. So yeah, stage 1 here is just all about speed killing and point blanking. So the boss here, I actually struggled with for a while when I first started playing the game. And the reason why is you need to just take him out fast with supers. Otherwise, you can get some pretty gnarly patterns out of him. So that's what you're seeing Dingo doing. So there's lots of different ways you gain points in this game. The main way is you collect different items, and so you'll see him collecting them here and there, and those items also determine your extends too. So the extends go that when you collect 500 you get your first, then when you collect 1,000 you get a second, and then 3,000 is your third, and then 10,000 is your fourth, and then 15,000 plus going afterwards. So you can build up a lot of extends in this game. And I believe, let's see, the maximum is 10, so the game also has a really, really great soundtrack. Kind of an interesting style, where it's kind of like a upbeat electro music, I guess would be the genre. I don't know. But another thing about this game that really stood out to me when I played it the first time was obviously the stage design and the sort of aesthetics. I think the theme of the game is that you're playing in some kind of like Matrix-like computer type thing. Like you're in a simulation of some sort. Kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 2 in a way. Something like that anyway. So here comes the oncoming boss. Not boss, Popcorn Rush there. What's interesting is that this game can be pretty demanding on hardware, but I think it's been updated or patched since last time I played it, because there were certain sections, I'll point them out, and we'll see if they still cause a ton of slowdown. But they were just dropping, even my like high-rig gaming PC, they were just dropping it down to like 10 FPS and stuff, so I think it was patched though, we'll see. So he's collecting those coins there, another scoring item. And they just have values. So those little small coins are worth 250, and then the medium-sized coins are worth 500. The second largest are worth 1,000, and then the biggest one are worth 2K. So his target score is 1 billion. So the coins are nice, but they're not going to be the main moneymaker. What he's going for is he wants to build up his Prism count, and you'll see that underneath his score. That's what he's working on building up. And I believe it transfers between stages. We can look after this stage and see. I think it does. They did another super. I love the little stylish animations the characters do with the supers. So you'll notice all the bosses in this game are kind of variations of that geometric ball thing. So well, let's see if he carries his Prism count between stages. He does. Okay. Yeah, so it's all, this game's very momentum based with that Prism count. You want to just keep it like a, you know, many shmups, you want to keep that going. Okay, so here's the section that would just tank my computer. So let's see if it does so here. It's looking solid. Yeah, I think that they did patch it. So this mid-boss here. All the bosses and mid-bosses are basically these, like, geometric prism things. And you'll notice there, so the level 1 supers are really great for survival, like he uses there, because they cancel bullets. And then you can also use them to build hyper, because the amount of bullets you cancel can build, or your super, I mean, can be used to build up your super. And you'll see that in some of the boss fights. That section can get you sometimes. I think the visuals of this game are really interesting because it reminds me a bit of Ring 27 as far as how geometric it is. But it's just the production value is better, especially those backgrounds. And of course it's got some 3D models going on. I think the 3D models look solid. Getting the coins out of those boxes. Just want to speed kill him. Yeah, I think most of the enemies in the stage are boxes, which is kind of funny. Violence against shapes. Nice super. This is perhaps my favorite song of the soundtrack. So the way this works is it'll focus in on where you are, so you just manipulate it. This game's gameplay is interesting because I wouldn't necessarily call it a bullet hell. It's kind of one of those in-betweeners where it's got a lot of bullets going on, but I don't know if it quite qualifies as, you know, a typical bullet hell, because it has some kind of classic elements to it as well. So yeah, I definitely recommend more people to check it out. So the death there. That's always the worst, is when you get rammed by those stupid boxes. That is one little weakness with the Bronx Terror, as good as it is that the way those lasers intersect is a very small hitbox, you know, compared to something like a DDP laser. And so, yeah, some enemies can just kind of graze on by it and ram you, so you have to be really precise with it. Another thing I really enjoy about this game is I like how the like the lines of the bullets, how they're kind of like these electrical looking lines. It's really unique. I think it's cool. And you'll see some really cool attacks coming up here. It look like you're at a rave or something. So that was the enemy's super. Well, you won't see them because he murdered that poor fool. So he's sitting on 6 extends. That's really good. This level is really kind of a departure from the other two because it's going to focus a lot more on kind of Ikaruga style level design, as you'll see. Or like something like Gradius 5 reminds me of a bit, where you'll have less enemy waves and you'll start fighting larger formations and disassembling different parts of bosses and stuff. You'll see. This is like straight up Ikaruga style, where it have transitions like that. I like to think of this now. He's going into the mainframe of the computer. He's going deep now. This will remind you of that. I think there's a section very similar to this in Crimson Clover. Gonna get some coins out of those guys. Nice safe spot there. This part right here. So he has to kill these turrets with missiles, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're invulnerable to laser. And his rank is pretty high because if you're not playing for score right here, and I'm pretty sure your rank is tied to your Prism count. Yeah, the enemy formations are not nearly as thick or as aggressive. And it looks like he's milking this section, because if he wanted to kill, he would just launch his supers at him. And I think he's milking it for some points. And then, potentially, the timeout's coming. He's going to hyper it there, or super it there. Nicely done. Spilling it now. Again, a little bit of milking. So those missiles are scary. Kinda, I think that attack caught him by surprise there. One more. Do it, just shoot it, Dingo. He's going for all the milk. He's building up that Prism count, though. I'm assuming that's gonna play very directly. I love these bullets. It reminds me of like George Michael's earrings or something. Neon pink crosses coming at you. Again, he's doing some milking here, building up that count. Because if you want to just do this for survival, he would just hyper those turrets and get it over with. Or super on them, I mean. So here's this section. This section is pretty filthy. Let's see his extend. He's got 5 extends, it looks like, so he should be okay. The last boss can get pretty nasty. Yeah, great super. Barely made it through. This part's tough. See, this is the part that reminds me of something like Gradius 5 or something. That's why I don't quite think this is a full-on bullet hell, because it kind of has some classic elements like this. Those green lasers in the back are filthy. So he's getting lots of coins. Building up them prisms, that's good. I think he's kind of on the razor's edge right here. Where he's not necessarily desperate, but he's not comfortable either. You know, he's kind of in that razor's edge area where it could go either way right now. And he's built himself up a nice pile of rank, so the enemies are going to be pretty aggressive. Nice, very nice dodge.
What?
Well, both he and I were confused by what happened there. We don't know. You can kind of hear Dingo playing a little bit in the background. The one thing is, yeah, this game definitely took the simplistic TLB concept to heart, that's for sure, because all the bosses are just glowing boxes, basically. That's alright, though. They're all different ones, at least. I call this attack the hit scan, where it gives you a little bit of a pause effect to let you know, okay, it's coming for you. It's actually really fun to dodge. Okay. Now he comes into the final boss fight here. So this is like Garega Stage 6, where it's a boss fight, but it's such a long boss fight, it's basically a stage. And this section here is like basically to help you build up your hyper or your super and stuff. At least on the lower difficulties. So that's what he's doing. Here we go. The central nervous system. He's in the spine of the computer now. Sitting on a healthy stock ship count. So this game, I'm pretty sure, does not have... Maybe it has a focus shot. I can't recall now. It's been a little while since I played. I don't believe it does, though. I think he's having to unfocus dodge all these patterns. This pattern always reminds me of those, like, Native American rugs that people have. Kind of looks like that to me. Yeah, don't let those glowing blue orbs get to you. This part's interesting. Ooh. Kind of in a tough position right now. And instead of decreasing this boss's damage, you increase it, as you can see. So it goes up rather than going down. The aesthetic of this boss always reminds me of that eye Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey, but it's blue, pretty much. I think that's what they were going for. So far, very nicely played. Getting through the snowflakes. Oh, you'll notice too, as damage increases, the size of the enemy increases. Now it looks like a spirit bomb from Dragon Ball Z. Well played so far. This is always fun. Here's why the Bronx Terror is awesome. Because... Don't worry, man, you got plenty more. Is because you can actually super, and they'll cover the back of your ship. So, with these bullets coming in from the back, if he ever gets too trapped, he can super out of it. Like that. Other ships can't do that. Or some of the other ships can't do that, at least. Okay, he got through phase 1 here. This looks like that boss from Eschatos earlier today. It looks similar. Yeah, the rainbow comes out now. He's got a long fight ahead of him. It's a very long. Oh man, yeah. This part sucks. Very precise. Nice shot. This is where the difficulty of the game really comes to a head. It's kind of like one of those shmups where you think like, okay, this game's really easy to clear, but then you don't realize then that a lot of the survival difficulty comes in at the end of the final boss. Because it is a very, very long fight. Building a lot of score though. Oh, spawn on top of him. That's always the worst. Here they come. Nice super. Just watching the waves. Yeah, obviously, if he needs to use that, the thing about the level 1 supers that is nice is they refill really quick. Got janked there. Still got 2 extends. This pattern, to this day, confuses me. You'll watch, he'll start to just glow the screen. Oh, I guess he made it through already. Anyway, if that pattern keeps going on, it gets pretty nasty. Very close, very close. This one's always fun. Again, another reason why this ship's really nice. It handles this pattern pretty well because you can create a shield with your super. Okay, he's got 2 lives still. So here he doesn't want to use a level 2 super. He wants to just keep using level 1 super for safety. He's right there. He's still got an extend. But, of course, it's not over. You gotta do one more. I remember when this boss came up, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? After all that? So this is gonna be pretty challenging, because he's got 1 extend. He could potentially trigger another one, though, when he gets to the bill. So, I'm not sure how quickly he can score, if he can score it fast enough to get that bill extend. Doesn't look like it. So it's just going to come down to hanging in there. Look how slowly. Whoa. Didn't see that coming. I guess the supers do a lot of damage on him. I think there's going to be another phase after this, if I recall correctly. Gaining points though. Nice super. Sometimes it's good to use your super to just stuff oncoming stuff. Man, the rainbows. I think he's gonna time out, potentially? Yeah. I think that boss is real tough to clear. Close. So his scoring goal was a bill. Came close. Unless that's not it. Hold on. I can't remember how many freaking bosses there are in this game. Wait, I think that's it. Let's watch. Let's make sure. Okay, that's it. Nicely played, man. Nicely played. Made it through, you know. His goal was a bill, but at the same time, he made it through survival-wise, which is always tough. Nice games, man. Oh, sorry, Dingo. I forgot to change your name. I'll fix it in post. It's okay. I'll fix his name in post. The magic of editing will repair his name. Great playing, man. Man, this has been a crazy event. Again, the shoutouts to Dingo for swapping with Kiwi because, you know, that way everyone could get the commentators they needed and everything. Great playing, man. Alrighty, so we're gonna take a break, and then the moment you all have been waiting for, dreading, hating, loving, all the emotions is coming up next. The Dodonpachi score glitch reveal. Stay tuned.